What if I told you that the most successful predators on Earth aren't the strongest, fastest, or most ferocious? What if the secret to their dominance lies not in individual power, but in something far more sophisticated? Today, we're diving deep into the shadowy world of wolfpack hunting, where every move is calculated, every role is crucial, and failure means starvation. You've probably seen the Hollywood version of wolves, snarling beasts attacking randomly in chaos. But the reality is far more chilling and infinitely more fascinating. These aren't mindless killers. They're strategic masterminds operating with military precision that would make Navy SEALs jealous. Picture this. It's dawn in Yellowstone National Park. A pack of 8 wolves emerges from the mist, their yellow eyes scanning the horizon. They've spotted their target, a massive bull elk weighing nearly 6 times more than any single wolf. Logic says this should be impossible. Physics says they should walk away. But wolves don't operate on logic. They operate on something far more powerful. Let me take you inside their world, where every hunt is a masterclass in teamwork, psychology, and survival. Because what you're about to discover will completely change how you see these incredible predators forever. The hunt begins long before the chase. While their prey grazes peacefully, the wolves are already 3 steps ahead. The alpha pair doesn't just bark orders, they're reading the terrain like a chess grandmaster studies the board. They're calculating wind direction, escape routes, and the physical condition of every potential target. Here's where it gets absolutely mind-blowing. Each wolf in the pack has a specific role, and they know exactly when to execute it. The scouts move silently through the underbrush, invisible shadows gathering intelligence. They're not just looking for any prey, they're profiling. Is that elk limping? Is that deer separated from its herd? They're identifying the weak, the old, the vulnerable. But here's what most people don't realize. Wolves don't want to fight. A single kick from an elk can shatter a wolf's ribs, ending its life slowly and painfully. So they've evolved something far more sophisticated than brute force. They've mastered psychological warfare. The pack splits into 2 groups with surgical precision. Group 1, the drivers, positions themselves upwind from their target. Their job isn't to catch the prey, it's to panic it. They show themselves just enough to trigger that primal flight response, sending their victim running in exactly the direction they want. Meanwhile, Group 2, the ambush team, melts into the landscape ahead. They're reading the prey's escape route before the animal even knows it's going to run. These wolves become living ghosts, invisible until the moment of truth. Now here's where the psychology gets truly fascinating. Wolves understand something about prey behavior that took human scientists decades to figure out. When an animal panics, it doesn't think. It follows predictable patterns. Elk run toward familiar territory. Deer bolt toward dense cover. Bison bunch together in defensive circles. The wolves exploit every single one of these instincts. As the chase begins, something extraordinary happens. The pack transforms from individual animals into a single collective intelligence. The drivers maintain just enough pressure to keep their target running, but not so much that it collapses from exhaustion before reaching the ambush point. It's a delicate balance that requires split-second communication and absolute trust. Watch their eyes during a hunt, and you'll see something that will give you chills. They're not wild with bloodlust. They're calm, focused, calculating. Each wolf is processing multiple variables: the prey's speed, stamina, direction changes, potential escape routes. They're making tactical adjustments in real time, like fighter pilots in aerial combat. But here's the most incredible part. When the moment of truth arrives, when the prey reaches the ambush point, the wolves don't all attack at once. That would be chaos. Instead, they execute a coordinated takedown that's both precise and devastating. The lead wolf goes for the nose, not to kill, but to control. A wolf's grip on an elk's muzzle is like a pilot grabbing the controls of an aircraft. Suddenly, a 1,000-pound animal becomes manageable. Other pack members target the hindquarters, not randomly, but with surgical precision aimed at severing tendons and immobilizing their prey. The entire sequence, from first contact to final takedown, often lasts less than 2 minutes. 2 minutes to end a chase that began with careful observation hours earlier. Now here's what makes this even more remarkable. After the kill, the pack doesn't descend into savage chaos. There's an established hierarchy, a social contract that governs who eats first, how much they consume, and when the feast begins. The alpha pair feeds first, not out of selfishness, but because the survival of the pack depends on their strength and decision-making ability. Younger wolves watch and learn, downloading hunting strategies that have been refined over thousands of years. This isn't just instinct, it's cultural knowledge passed down through generations. Each pack develops its own hunting style, its own techniques, its own signature moves. But perhaps the most fascinating aspect of wolfpack hunting is what happens when they fail. Because they do fail, a lot. Success rates hover around 20 to 30%. In the business world, that would be considered catastrophic. But wolves understand something that many humans struggle with. Failure isn't the opposite of success, it's part of the process. After an unsuccessful hunt, the pack doesn't dissolve into blame and infighting. They regroup, analyze what went wrong, and adapt their strategy for the next opportunity. They're constantly evolving, constantly improving, constantly learning from both success and failure. The implications of wolfpack hunting extend far beyond the wilderness. Military strategists study their coordination. Business leaders analyze their teamwork. Psychologists examine their communication methods. These wolves have mastered principles of cooperation that human societies are still trying to perfect. So the next time you hear a wolf howl in the distance, remember, you're not just hearing the call of a predator. You're hearing the voice of one of nature's most sophisticated team players, part of a hunting machine that has perfected the art of survival through cooperation, strategy, and unwavering commitment to the pack. The hunt never ends. The pack survives. And in the harsh mathematics of the wild, that's the only equation that matters.